Welcome, chess fans, to another episode of Donny Ariel, the People's Champion. Today we're going to take a look at a game that I played against FIDE Master Ron Young in the 2025 Amateur Team Championship. This is the first round, and let's get into it. All right, e4. I played the Sicilian defense, and this is the Sveshnikov variation with the move e5. You might be familiar with it. This square is weakened, but black's king tends to not be in danger, so it's pick your poison, what you prefer. You always get a bit of a bad game with black unless you're one of the top players in the world, and then you somehow get it to be 0-0 on the computer. So in this position, white can take on f6. I don't think it really matters the move order. You might be familiar with this variation. If I go back, b5 threatening to attack both knights, knight d5, bishop e7, and then this is a positional plus for white. If he wants more, then he usually tries and captures on f6. So in this, he doesn't have to play it right now. He could play it in this position too, but he chose to play it right now, and we're going to have a transposition. Takes, back, forward, knight d5. In the old days, they used to play f5, but among other things, then you have to worry about a sacrifice here, because if you played f5, takes, the computer says it's 0-0. There's a knight coming into here. A lot of opening preparation on the amateur level is about getting positions you're comfortable with and also not losing in the opening. So the fact that the computer thinks this is 0-0 doesn't mean very much, because if you haven't memorized a bunch of stuff, you could lose in one move. So personally, in this position, I always just play bishop g7, c3, bringing the knight around, f5. Okay. So here we have kind of normal moves. And I was a little bit nervous. I hadn't played in a long time. This was the first round, like I said. And I actually thought I was already struggling here, but the computer kind of likes my position. So we'll see what happens. Okay, knight e7. I'm trying to challenge the d5 square. And white plays king h1. It's a sharp double-edged game. White is going to play a4, and I was pretty afraid of a4, but actually it's a decent position for me. I took it. The computer doesn't like taking it. It likes keeping the tension. Taking it is committal, right? So you have to ask yourself, is white going to take my pawn? And if the answer is no, because I'm going to take back probably with a pawn and improve my position, that's an argument for not taking as black yourself, right? Because you could always take next move if you want, but maybe you'll want to go forward. Anyway, I did it. I think my idea was I wanted to get this h4 square from my pieces, and we'll see how that worked out. So I'm afraid of a4. So I'm playing rook b8 in anticipation of that, so that when he plays a4, maybe I'll take it and open up an attack on his b pawn. Plays queen d2, and now I played a really bad move, which I think is quite instructive. Basically, there's just absolutely no reason to take on d5. I think I probably just wasn't really sure what to do. I think that maybe I was afraid if I played queen h4 in this position that this would be a good move, but I don't know, it's not a good move. I don't know, I have knight f4. So really there's no justification. I think this is a typical bad amateur mistake where I just randomly made a capture because I didn't know what to do. Okay, so you have to forgive me for that one. And now my position is considerably worse without this bishop. White's king is on h1. Imagine my bishop here, right? Like you should keep that piece unless you have some specific reason why you want to take on d5. Another thing is there is this kind of principle in chess that sometimes when there's a good outpost, but the other side has multiple pieces that would like to be on that outpost, that's a little bit awkward. For example, both knights really want to be on d5, right? But they can't both be here. And once I take it, now there's only one knight left, right? And I don't have my bishop anymore. Okay, queen h4. So now it's already for me, it's plus 1.2. Things are already getting dicey here. My queen side's falling apart. I really wasn't sure what to do. Now, when I played queen h4, okay, this is a very instructive moment, even if the moves aren't perfect. When I played this move, I had dreams of attacking him. I had all kinds of fantastical ideas. Maybe I'll play bishop h6. Who knows? But when he played a4, I realized I'm in big trouble, and I'm not in any position to attack him. I've got to just grovel here. The computer likes rook fe8 on the open file, and that makes some sense. I played knight e7, and I was extremely proud of this move because I felt extremely stupid playing it. And sometimes in chess, you make a move that's a mistake and you have to go back. And that's never easy because you look foolish, but I just had to challenge this powerful knight, was my thinking at the time. Takes, rook a7. So now the computer says that this is only +5. It liked, in this position, actually, it liked playing knight c7, which is a pretty powerful move, attacking both pawns. You might come into e6. I think we both missed this. But on the other hand, this looks pretty good, right? I mean, I just felt like I was on the worst side of a position where it was going to be very hard for me to win because I don't really see a big attack for black. And white has a lot of targets, right? This pawn, this pawn, this pawn. But b4, okay, so trying to open up the diagonal, trying to activate my rook as well. I played rook g1, and now the computer says to play bishop f6. I played rook g8, which actually I thought was going to be good for me because if you imagine these rooks getting traded, that will make black's attack more powerful. Maybe my queen can get in, right? His rook on f1 was actually defending the back rank. It's easy not to really think of that because the back rank didn't need much defending. But the problem is here, not queen f5 as played in the game, but bishop c4 is very powerful. And the issue is now this bishop can't move, right? If it were to move, then this is going to be checkmate. So that doesn't sound very good. So now black is paralyzed. Let's take a look at what the computer gives. It gives takes, queen f4, and now it says just move the bishop. It says here, basically, if we can make a move for black just to demonstrate the idea. Obviously, it gives queen e4 check, take the rook, but let's say just the rook moves, okay? Just to illustrate the point, queen g2 was a threat, right? Because now this bishop is threatening to capture the rook. However, this bishop on g7 is attacked by this rook and these pieces. So you have to notice that bishop c4 was a good move here, and that it also contained the threat of queen to g2. Okay, that didn't happen, right? So I got a little lucky. He took on f5. I played bishop c3. Okay, now, when I played this move, I thought I'm winning the game, all right? Because I don't think he was expecting this move, right? So the computer evaluation says 0-0, but imagine you're playing a game, you're white, everything seems good, and suddenly, bam, okay? Now I'm threatening to play rook g1 check, king g1. This rook can come over, the queen's coming in, so this is a big problem. Let's imagine that he takes it. Now the computer just says I'm winning. So I'll give their line takes, king g1, queen e1 check. This is pretty much over, right? And wherever he moves, if he goes to g1, if he goes up here, I can check and take this rook if I don't see anything better. Okay, and obviously he can't avoid the check this way because this is mate. So I played bishop c3, and this is a very tense moment in the game. We both don't have a lot of time, about 30 minutes left. Making the right decision here, this is basically what is going to decide games, right? Because until now, we've seen a few moves, like bishop c4 on the last move was good for white. In the opening, a lot of different things could happen, but it didn't matter if you played the exact right move. Now, every move is worth its weight in gold. So he can't trade rooks because it's too weakening. In the game, he played his rook back to a1. The computer likes simply playing this rook to f1, which is a defensive resource that it likes in a few variations. Honestly, to me, this looks pretty decent for me, but we both have bishops, so he can come here, and it's a wild position. It's not clear who's going to win, but because I felt like I was losing, and then suddenly I played this big shot, I was very excited. And after this, I thought I was just basically winning the game. Okay, and it really humbles you when you play a game and you put it into the computer because you see how wrong you were about so many positions. So I took on b2. Okay, so now I'm up a pawn. I have a passed b pawn. This looks pretty decent for me. Takes. So here I thought I was just totally winning, and actually the computer says rook f1 is basically equal. I was up a pawn, and I felt like I had been under a lot of pressure the whole game. So I was pretty happy to have this position where I felt like I had a stronger attack and I'm up a pawn. But I guess really both sides have ideas, right? His bishop is also a decent attacking piece. It can come here, depending on how things play out. This pawn is not anywhere queening anytime soon. It's going to be very hard to get it past the white squares because I don't have a white squared bishop. So actually, even in this late position where I thought that I was totally winning, if he does not play queen b1, then he's still doing quite well. He played queen b1, and the idea is if I take his rook, this is an instant draw. It's perpetual check. Check, rook in the way, check, rook in the way, check, rook in the way. I think you get the idea. But the thing is, I don't have to take that rook, right? I could play bishop d4, and queen b1 obviously is not such a natural looking move. I'm threatening to take on f4. I'm threatening to play rook g1. I'm threatening to play queen f2. So already there is no defense, and he played queen a2. I played queen f2, and he resigned because my threats are unstoppable. I'm threatening rook g1 just to illustrate the point. If, let's say, he plays bishop c4, rook g1, takes, queen takes is checkmate. So I think this is a game is a good example of the fact that we never really know the evaluation of our games, right? I thought I was losing when I wasn't, then I thought I was winning when I wasn't. But when you're playing a practical game, it doesn't really matter the evaluation. Most of the time, you just have to keep pushing and keep fighting. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow.